One of the really neat features of Google Presentations is that you can use presenter mode. And I've seen presenter mode in other presentation programs, but Google has a couple of neat features because of their cloud-based saving system that allow you to do some interesting Q&As and other things during your presentations. So once you have a presentation made, you can enter presentation mode by clicking on the drop-down arrow next to Present. When you do that, you can see Presenter View as one of your options. So I'm going to choose Presenter View. What that does is it opens up my slide presentation. You can see that in presentation mode. It also opens up another window. So when you are projecting, you can put the presentation on that desktop that's getting projected, and you can keep your presenter view notes on the other desktop. Once you have it opened up, there's a few different things that you can do. First off, on the left-hand side, it shows you what your slides are. So it shows me I'm starting on the first one, and I can easily see what's coming up next. You can also choose to navigate to different slides based on the drop down here. So I could go straight to slide 5. You can see the presentation itself. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller for a minute. The presentation itself goes to that particular slide. Also, underneath, you can see that there's a timer. And this is nice for if you have a particular timeline laid out for your presentation. So you can see I can click on the next slide and it will go to the next, and it shows me all of the previous and next and so on and so forth. So that's a really quick, easy way to move between slides when you are in this mode. Another thing that you can do is you can access your speaker notes. So I'm going to click on speaker notes. Speaker notes show you when you have notes in a particular slide. You can type those in as you are creating the slide, and then you can see those notes show up there. So on slide 3, I do have some notes, but if I were to go to slide 2, I don't have any notes. You can always add notes here if you want to add or subtract notes. Now, the coolest part is the audience tools. So the audience tools allows you to do some Q&A while you are in your presentation. So I'm going to start a new one. Now here it's accepting questions from my particular organization. If you are not in an organization, just have a general Google account, this won't be an option. I can also choose to let anyone who's watching my presentation to add in questions. I'm just going to keep it on anyone. Yep, I'm cool with that. And it gives me a URL that allows my users to go to that URL and ask questions. You can see on the slideshow itself, it pops up at the top. It says go to this URL and you can ask questions. So I'm going to go to it on another device. Give me just a minute to type it in. It makes a unique one every time you start a new Q&A session. Alright, so I'm in my questions and I'm going to ask a question. I can ask it anonymously, or I can ask it as my person that I'm logged in with. So I'm going to submit that question, and here you can see I added in a question. From the other view on the other device, I can see that question, and as anyone who's logged in, they can also see that question and they can like it or dislike it if they want. I can also show my question up on my presentation. What can I do with forms? So that's a really, really neat tool that you can use to get your audience engaged. If you don't want to accept questions anymore, you can turn the questions off, and then you can go back to your presentation as it was before. So these are just a really just an overview of what these interesting questions are, or what these interesting features are in presentation mode for Google Forms. One last thing I did want to show you before I go is you can always enter presenter view from presentation mode. So if you go into present just in general, you can see presenter view is one of the options at the bottom of your slide. So I can click presenter view and it will open up that additional pop-up window. While we're talking about cool presentation tools, you'll notice that there's also a laser pointer that you can use, and then you can enter and exit full screen from here. The laser pointer is kind of nice because it allows you to point out certain things in your presentation. So that is presentation mode or presenter mode in Google Presentations.